I think we should talk about the Joe Burrow injury. I think
Joe
that
Burrow.
to talk about the NFL this week and not talk about Joe Burrow being out for the rest of the season would be a bit bad on us. So I think
Yeah.
we should speak a little bit on this because I think it's a very interesting topic, just in the fact that this is now the second time this season, and the last time this season, obviously, that we've seen Joe Burrow struggle with injuries, and
Yep.
it's interesting. It's like I don't remember exactly what for earlier this year he was struggling with. I think it was his leg, right?
There's this calf.
Calf, right?
This calf.
So obviously two very different situations, and I do not remember. I did not see how he hurt it, but I still think that it happened on a tackle. Okay, like it sucks for the Bengals. It sucks for Burrows because he is such an
It sucks
incredible
for the
player.
league.
It sucks for the
It
league.
sucks
Yeah.
for the league. I'm just so like I hate all of the quarterback injuries that have happened this year. It's just been it feels like it's been significantly more than normal. As much as I love the Josh Dobbs story in Minnesota, like Kirk Cousins was playing amazing. The Joe Burrow thing, we've just seen like Aaron Rodgers. Obviously, we've seen so many backup quarterbacks take the field, and it just makes some of these matchups, especially the ones with Aaron Rodgers, that were just hyped up and would be amazing games if these star quarterbacks were playing. They just seem so much worse.
Yeah.
Like the Black Friday game. Can you imagine how amazing that Dolphins Jets game would be if they had Aaron Rodgers at quarterback?
Well,
The Dolphins
and
offense
talk about
versus that Jets
how
defense?
good we thought the Jets were going to be with A-Rod at the beginning of the year, right? Like, everybody
Yeah.
thought they were going to be real game breakers, and now all of a sudden it's just
That-
like...
That Black
Bears.
Friday game would have been fantastic. And now it's like the Dolphins, I think, are favored by like 10 or 11 points, and it's going to be a complete snooze fest, and there's no way I'm turning in. It's the same kind of thing with the Bengals. I don't have any faith in the Bengals to win more than like 2 or 3 games the rest of the way.
Who's their
Because they
backup?
got Jake Browning. Jake Browning.
Jake Browning.
I don't
Yeah,
trust
that's
Jake
rough.
Browning to do anything. Like I don't know. I'm looking at it, and this is just. I'm thinking
Jake
particularly
Browning?
and at
Jake Browning sounds like not only a realtor name, but like a bad realtor. Or like a bad lawyer. Like the lawyer you'd see on like a bus bench on the wrong side of town. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
what I imagine Jake Browning. And I would not trust him to handle any of either of those things I just mentioned, let alone an NFL team.
Yeah, it just makes like there's a couple more primetime games. They have a primetime game against the Jags that would have been fun if it was Burrow v Lawrence. New Year's Eve against the Chiefs. That would have been a fantastic game because Chiefs Bengals is always amazing.
Well, it
and now
sucks.
it's like those games
Injuries
are going to be
always suck. Like no matter what, which is
Yeah.
and I mean, yeah, you're totally right. Like the more I think about it, there has been an absurd amount of injuries this year. There's been at points where obviously this is not the first time Burrows has been hurt, which is something we already talked about. The Bengals, it seemed like the Bengals were just starting to get on a roll too. Like they were just starting to get
Yeah.
their shit together. Where I mean, and there's been examples
because that
all over the
that
league.
Niners game was the best they looked, right? Like
Yeah.
they just wiped the floor with them.
Yeah,
And then the
it
Bills
just
game
sucks.
the next
It
week,
literally just sucks. Like there has been an absurd. I wonder if we can find a list so that we can get like the exact number because I know there's been more than
And
we mentioned.
Every
Like,
single year that the Bengals waste, like this is a wasted year. There's no the Bengals season ended on Thursday night when Joe Burrow, I think he tore a tendon in his wrist. The Bengals season ended right there, because they can't win anything without him. And the more seasons that you waste, obviously the more money you're going to have to pay to people like T. Higgins, to Jamar Chase, to Joe Burrow, who got an extension that makes him the highest paid player in the NFL that's going to kick in. I don't know if it kicks in next season or the season after or if it already has, but you're going to have to start playing some of your players because the exciting thing about this Bengals team was that it was such a young core. You're going to need to start playing some of those players, and you start wondering if their Super Bowl window is closing if they have another couple wasted seasons.
And
It's
to
really
give-
terrible to see with how much promise they showed at the start.
And I want to go back to the thing again of how many teams have lost their starters since the start of the year. Do you have a guess on the exact number? because it's pretty high.
Have lost their starters. So we're
Yeah.
talking like. Here's a question: do you count people who were injured before week 1? Like, does Kyler Murray count?
No, Kyler does not count.
Okay.
Kyler,
Okay.
the Cardinals are not on this list, and that also should tell you something. That this list is higher if you count the Cardinals.
And this is only injuries, not benchings or anything.
Yes, only injuries.
Okay. I would reckon to guess like 7.
Wow, dead on.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because we've got in order.
got
This
the
is
Bengals,
a ranking of
Browns.
how devastating it is.
Hey, wait. I wanna try to guess them all.
On how
In terms of how
okay,
devastating it is.
To be clear, so this is the order that it's in. Through the 7, it goes. Or wait, is there only 6? Oh, it only lists 6.
Oh man.
Haha, you're wrong.
Damn.
I thought you
so
had
close.
it. Anyway, it goes 6 through how devastating is in. They're kind of comparing the starter to the replacement a little bit here.
Okay.
So starting at 6, so this is the least devastating. Do you have a guess? It's not hard.
The least devastating.
Least devastating, not hard. In my opinion, it's pretty obvious.
In terms of an injury?
In terms of it, not necessarily in terms of injury, but in terms of who they're replacing the player with.
Is it the Colts?
No, it's the Vikings.
I disagree so hard.
Really? Well, as
Yeah.
great as Kirk Cousins is,
I love
Josh Dobbs is
me
not a
some
bad
Josh
QB.
Dobbs. I love me some Josh Dobbs, and I think he's played great. But I think Kirk Cousins was a top 5 quarterback before he got hurt.
No, that's not what I'm saying, Caleb. I'm just saying that, like, look at it like this: the Vikings with Josh Dobbs is not a bad team. When you go further down this list, there's a lot of teams here
Neither
looking
are
at their
the Colts.
Neither are the Colts.
with
The
Gardner
Colts are
Minshew.
actually 4th.
So there's another team in between.
There's another team in between.
Okay, so it's not going to be the Bengals. So there's 6. It's not going to be the Bengals. It's not going to be the Browns. It's not going to be the Jets. Who else has lost their quarterback this year? We're not counting guys that got injured and came back, right? So no Justin Fields, no Derek Carr.
No. Do you want me to just tell you if you don't even have a clue? Because otherwise you're just gonna.
I don't know this one. Yeah.
Okay, the Giants.
Oh yeah.
Daniel Jones
Okay.
is so hurt, and they currently are playing Tommy DeVito.
Tommy DeVito.
Who still lives at home with his parents, which is great. And
make him a plate of pasta every night. Get the spaghetti.
Yeah, pretty much. And they have him at 5th. Because I think Daniel Jones is not an elite quarterback by any means, and Tommy DeVito's been all right.
Yeah. They would be 6 if it was Tyrod Taylor, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, and then like any sort of, or I'd say like,
and then
I'd probably go Browns, Bengals, Jets
for the order.
I'd say Browns is a little less devastating than the Bengals.
Yeah, nobody's mad about that injury. I mean, Koff didn't say anything.
No.
Bengals, Joe Burrow. Yeah, Bengals are 2. Jake Browning, and then number 1 Jets for Zach Wilson, who at this point is Tim. Yeah, finally benched for Tim Boyle. So they even mentioned that in here. So now it's almost Aaron Rodgers for Tim Boyle.
Which is about as bad as it gets.
Yeah, pretty much. I think that should probably do it on the, I don't know, NFL recap of the week. Obviously, we went into kind of a little bit of everything. I think we've got NHL coming up next.